edition of the Phantom Zone podcast Thanksgiving week. Only 2 episodes to discuss, Supergirl and Flash. In Supergirl, we got to see some Martian on Martian action. Not the good kind of action, more the physical action, but whatever.
How about that Supergirl?
I liked it, I guess. I actually have to look at my notes because it feels like so long ago. It was okay. So I immediately it made me think of Arrow. Like the whole episode felt like an episode of Arrow, even down to the music. Like it didn't feel like an episode of Supergirl to me for the most part. Just from what I'm remembering, it felt very small and very.
You could say it felt like Smallville.
No.
Damn.
I mean, visually, it's actually very similar. Smallville, they always like to underlight. And this was a very underlit episode. So, yeah.
It kind of, lighting-wise?
Yeah. Like, it felt...
Okay.
They had a lot of shadow and a lot of...
It didn't really feel like a Supergirl episode as much as it felt like a Guardian episode.
Right. And even his theme, like it sounded like an off-brand version of Arrow, which is what he is. I don't know.
He's still cool. I like his cool lobster claw shield.
Yeah.
But
I just have to say I hated Martian Manhunter in this episode.
Yeah.
Because that's very out of character.
Oh yeah, where he just attacks.
Yeah.
For being a white Martian.
I figured that was because, like she says at the end of the episode, he's becoming a white Martian. So his attitude and the way what he chooses to do will be much more white Martian-y.
Oh no, I'm talking about his reaction when he finds out McGann is not a green Martian. But
a white monster fights.
Yeah, that's the early symptoms of him realizing that he's slowly becoming White Martian. That stuff was there throughout the episode.
And, he's just becoming more aggressive.
Yeah, and
because for those of us, for example, me and our listeners, for those who've seen Young Justice, which takes place on I think it takes place on Earth 16 or Earth 19, which is funny because of the whole HR thing. Martian Manhunter knew that Miss Martian was a white Martian and didn't do anything. In fact, he actually helped her conceal it even more.
Well, yeah, but again, this is a slightly different situation. Like, he's starting to break down mentally because of this. So there's a different context here, I guess.
I think a lot of it is also that to move the story forward, he has to do something about it because it's this is still a TV show and it's a different audience than comic books.
Yeah, and also the level of brutality that the white Martians are depicted as having done changes from medium to medium. So in this, it's very clear that the white Martians are supposed to be Nazis. They don't even hide that in the first season. They just make it really clear. The white Martians see green Martians as lesser beings and not even related to them in any way. So that would make John Jones basically like a Nazi hunter in the 60s. And his reaction is not far off from what I would expect from a human being.
Well, isn't him being a hunter isn't that where the name The Martian Manhunter comes from?
Maybe.
Well, it's because he was a detective.
Right. Yeah, his human form... Yeah, his human hiding identity. Secret identity. His secret identity has almost always been a detective on Earth.
His born identity. With Matt Damon.
He stole that identity from a murdered man.
Right. So he's the
also it doesn't help them. Part of me thinks of my main like I don't. My knowledge of Martian Manhunter comes more from the DC animated universe.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Justice League, JLU, and also the whole New Frontier.
Right.
Where he accidentally causes the guy who transports him from Mars to Earth to have a heart attack. And he takes his identity and basically is just terrified of anyone finding out who he is. And then again, it's set in the whole McCarthyism.
Right.
I kind of wish they did that he had the detective identity in Supergirl, but Hank Henshaw works.
Yeah.
I guess it works.
I mean, the reveal was also a big part of that, and
yeah,
you couldn't have really had that because the moment a black guy who's a detective shows up on screen, everybody's like, "Oh, that's John Jones. That's the Martian Manhunter." It's obvious.
Yeah.
Even if they had changed his name. So yeah, I don't. But I agree. Like they could have. I would like to see the detective thing come in at some point, maybe. Who knows? Maybe in years down the line, he's retired from the DEO and he's just a police detective. That'd be interesting. Yeah. But I did like how it was gradual, how he slowly became angrier and angrier.
Well, first he had the hallucination of his wife and kids.
Right. And that was very effective, I thought. The effects were on point this episode, I thought. And also really well used. Well fit into the scene in every instance. This is it's an interesting episode because it's very small for Supergirl, which is something I actually like. I prefer that it not always be just flying around and punching things. This was a lot of quiet moments and like weird and just weirdness, like discomfort. And I was both turned away by it, but I couldn't stop like paying attention and really being invested in what was going on. So, I feel like that's the sign of a good storyteller, of a good or a well done TV show. So, yeah.
I thought it was kind of weird at the end where Mon-El was like, "Oh, I like Kara now." Like,
yeah, that was a little bit.
Seemed very forced.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to accept like they were in a stressful situation, and that causes people to get closer. That's kind of a recognized thing. But it did kind of like, it felt like CW from on high was like, okay, she needs to fall in love with someone. Like, she needs to have, like, a boyfriend by the end of this season, who's, like, her steady boyfriend.
That was the most CW, like, thing they could possibly do with Supergirl, was to just make they're in a relationship now.
Right. Exactly.
I felt they were trying to do that with Alex and the girl.
Maggie Sawyer.
Yeah.
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 And I don't have a problem with that. Like, it doesn't seem forced. It's just like, this is just kind of weird and jarring because it's so sudden.
Right. Like, if this had happened...
Is it too late for Supergirl to go back to NBC?
You mean CBS?
You mean CBS.
I mean, yeah, that ship sailed.
Same shit.
Like, the show was done until CW picked it up. Like, and the only reason it happened is because of the Flash crossover. Like, if that doesn't happen, if there isn't a giant outcry by fans who love it, the whole show's dead. And it becomes Constantine
remember that
2.0.
Well, remember that it was pitched first to CW.
Right. Most of these shows were. This was pitched there, but they didn't think that they could afford it. And then they did Legends for a whole season. And after that cooled down and they figured out how to do that at a much more manageable budget, they said, maybe we can do Supergirl. So
No, I think it was when they were developing the Flash at that point, like
Right. But so part of why they didn't take it is because Legends, before it even came out, was breaking records for TV budgets, like records that Game of Thrones usually breaks for that first season, because they were spending so much on those first few episodes that they had to cancel production and scale back, which is why there is a noticeable difference towards the end of that season and in this season. There is a slight difference in the effects budget.
and only in lack of 3 episodes.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they were able to pick up Supergirl after lowering the budget for Legends. But yeah, I don't think the CBS thing is going to happen. And even on CBS, the show felt very CW to me. And the only things that have really changed is there's not a lot of references to things that don't exist anymore. There was an episode that took place in a radio station, as if radio stations had any impact anymore. And there are many episodes in that first season that very poorly portray how actually being what actually being on a newspaper is like, and how newspapers are put together. But that's a problem with all of DC, it seems. They think they're still in the 1950s.
That reminds me of when Clark Kent wasn't when he was not a reporter anymore, but a TV anchor.
Right.
I still can't believe they pulled that off.
That would be that's more implausible than the reporter thing.
Yeah, Alan, I wouldn't call that pulled off. I would say they attempted it.
No, they actually.
Does he still do it?
No, they did it back in the 70s.
Jeez, yeah.
It was in one of the I think the Spider-Man Superman crossover.
Oh, okay. I guess they could get away with that better there. We're going really slow tonight. Let's talk about Cyborg Superman, or as I call him, Cyborg Trump, because god damn, he was racist.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable levels of racism.
Yeah. That was tough to sit through. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, he's
I was kind of down by the whole reveal.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming.
Also, it fell very flat.
Yeah.
I dislike him because he's a racist, but it's the reveal to me was just ta-da, it's just they threw confetti and there's no one's excited.
Right.
Especially the line where he says, "Hank Henshaw is dead. My name is Cyborg Superman." I felt nothing.
Yeah, that line. That line.
Oh, that's a thing.
That died on the line, man.
Yeah, you are. Ooh.
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes you want to do a reveal, or you want to have that line, but it doesn't always work, and sometimes you just don't need it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just happy they're not pulling an Arrow or
here's the
Green
thing.
Arrow.
On Arrow, it does work sometimes.
No. I'm talking about in with comics.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Where they're putting stuff from the show or getting ideas from the show and using that for the comics.
Right.
Like what happened with the Flash or the New 52 version of the Flash when Henry Allen he didn't die in prison.
Mm.
Spoilers for a really shitty comic.
No, I think we wrote a better storyline that they should have used when we said that Dean Cain was that should be Cyborg Superman.
Right, and that might still happen.
Because that payoff would have been so great this episode if it was all
what was his name on Smallville?
Dean
Hugo
Cain?
Knox or something?
Who was Dean Cain, you mean?
Yeah, he was basically Vandal Savage.
No, he was Vandal Savage. They said that his original name was Vandal Savage.
I know, but what was the identity he used?
I don't remember what. I don't.
It was Dean Cain.
I mean,
that's his character name. That's his name. That's all he will ever be was Dean Cain.
Yeah, Vandal Savage is actually based on Dean Cain.
True.
Someone who doesn't age.
Immortal.
Yeah, Vandal Savage's first appearance was in Dean Cain number 69.
Jesus Christ, man!
Anyways, what else? What else is there to Superman?
They shout out
Mono got
Thanagar.
fought.
They shout out Nth Metal and Thanagar, and I got excited for a second. I wrote in all caps in my notes, and I realized, oh wait, we've already done the Hawk people, and that was really bad. It was really, really bad.
Remember the Meta Apocalypse when they had Hawk people?
Yeah.
And they shed nothing on that plot.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't even make sense.
Wait a minute, are you saying there were Thanagarians on Earth too? Is that what you're talking about? When the metas came over?
When Zoom brought his metas over,
right? He had Hawk people.
You saw people flying around like with the wings.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that because Zoom's final plan in that season was kind of silly.
I miss Zoom.
I do too, but it was still very silly.
He's coming back, I swear.
Well, I think he is. I think he totally is. I think
if he does, I'm gonna write a review about it and just in all caps. It'll just be 3 words. He is back.
Yep. Because I think he's probably gonna try and talk to the Speed Force, and they're gonna send Zoom back to tell him what's going on.
I'm sure Zoom is somehow in part related to Savitar or something.
Right, but he's gonna try and learn about Savitar. If Savitar is the ruler of the Speed Force, and the Speed Force is a living entity, then he might be in control of them, but they don't want it.
Yeah, Zoom might be an apostle or whatever of the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Huh. Or some nonsense.
Yeah.
Not to get ahead of ourselves to the Flash topic, but...
Yeah.
Is there anything else on Supergirl?
I don't know. We should talk about, I guess, how rough Cadmus was. They're really evil.
It looked kind of like the Arrow set when Oliver Queen was in the Broadfoot.
Yeah, it's very similar.
I wonder if they used the same set.
I really do wonder. Yeah.
Why did it break out of that cell?
Because it was Nth Metal.
Yeah, it was Nth Metal.
Okay, I thought I missed something there. I was like, why can't she just break out?
No, it's
it reminded me a lot of Smallville's 33.1?
Is that which episode is that?
No, it was the prisons for metas that Lex had.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, weren't his customized for each one of them?
Well, no, it was.
Or what?
It was someone, I forgot who it was. I think it was Chloe, or it was the episode with Adam Jensen,
right?
Or Elias Tofexis, or however you say his name, where he looking very nerdy. When Lana tells Lana where Lex is, she has him go there, and it's empty.
It
felt very much like that episode of Smallville, and that was
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
that was a throwaway episode.
Right.
It was a static, or it was like the when your TV is going like acting staticky.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anything else from Supergirl?
I don't know, like
there's not really much to talk about with it.
Yeah, like Cadmus just continues to be like the worst organization in the history of organizations. I hate them.
Yes.
I'm still not liking this.
We didn't really talk about Guardian and the Vigilante, but or whatever.
Guardian's not very.
There's
cool.
not really much to talk about there.
Like Guardian's kind of lame. I still think he's kind of lame. Like I said this pre-show. They put out an Arrow episode in which Arrow is dealing with a vigilante who's harsher than him.
Yes, cool.
And
I love the vigilante, and it's probably my like if they make a movie with vigilante in it, it's going to be hard to beat this vigilante.
Right.
I mean, they can't do the ski goggles in the movie.
And then 4 days later, 4 days, not even a week, 4 days, they put out an episode of Supergirl that is the exact same thing. There are even moments where that final fight between Oliver and Vigilante is duplicated in Supergirl. It's not as well done in Arrow, because Arrow, as widely known, has the best action sequences using practical hand-to-hand fighting probably in the entirety of the CW. Supergirl has done stuff that's pretty close, but not quite.
What's that?
But yeah, it's gotten pretty close. But they did the exact same thing, which just
there's got to be someone up there that's like has to like at least read both of the scripts at some point in time. Be like, hey, they're doing that. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, like it's not that hard, and I know that they all are in the same office building. Like certain things just really bother me, especially on that level. Like, just talk to each other. Like when you're in production, hey, do you got a script where a vigilante fights another vigilante? Yeah. Okay, that's maybe...
Yeah, that's our whole season.
Yeah. Yeah, like...
It's our bread and butter.
Plan ahead. I mean, I understand, because let's think of it. By the end of this season of this stuff, I guess the Legends is going a little bit shorter. By the end of this, they will have produced almost 80 episodes of television, which is insane.
Yeah.
So I can give them a little bit of slack, but I don't know, like, push the air dates a little bit? I don't know, like...
Or at least just talk to each other, like...
Right, like, you could have held this episode till after Invasion.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing in this episode that's linked to time, and so that you couldn't have held it, or held that Arrow episode, or something, you know? Like, the only episode that had to air when it aired was that Legends episode, which leads directly into the crossover. But everything else could have been moved in some way. But, oversight is something that I'm always bothered by. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't got any last things other than Cyborg Superman at the end at the Fortress of Solitude. I don't know why they wasted that blood. I mean, that looked like it was all of it. I thought they were
He just
gonna
dumped it on his hand like an asshole. He was just like...
It was like, brrr.
Right, like...
I will now be able to access the Fortress of Solitude's knowledge.
Right, like... I mean, I guess that's useful.
I was expecting them to go back to like what they did the first season with the clone of Kara,
right.
And like I don't know, maybe do it properly.
Yeah, like a real Bizarro or a female version of Doomsday. I guess I don't.
Yeah, like something not just like this actually valuable plot point I'm just gonna waste.
Yeah.
I will say that him removing that eyepiece is a way better reveal of him just saying, I'm Cyborg Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was
No,
bothersome. But maybe there's something.
I really
in the
wish
fortress.
it was Dean Cain. I can't get over that.
Yeah,
Like, that would have been so perfect. So, like,
I guess.
just
I mean,
everything.
I see what you mean. I think that. I hope that the reason they didn't do that is because they think they have something better. And if they really do, I'm willing to give them the chance on that. But I also feel like maybe they're leaving themselves open. Because depending on how...
What's the Superman, like, robot suit dude?
Oh.
In the comics, anyway.
I know what you're talking about.
Eradicator?
Is it?
Are you talking about the artificial intelligence? Like the
Maybe. I'm thinking just a big old robot suit with a Superman logo on it.
Do you mean Steel? Or do you mean...
the Shaq movie?
No.
Sorry, I know. I just
Never
want to
have I ever thought of that movie.
I want to get a cheap laugh.
You're gonna someday.
Side note, I found out my stepdad has a copy of Howard the Duck on a hard drive somewhere that he acquired. And I was like, I'm disappointing in him, and he was like, it's a good movie, and now I don't know if I can share it anymore.
I was so tense the other day at Target because I saw it was $5 for the DVD, but I walked completely past it and I bought something that was worth the $5.
Right.
I think the universe is trying to get us to review it.
You would be spending $5 to see duck tits, and that's all you would be spending that money on?
I mean, you can get those on the internet for free, so...
Right.
Duck tits, that is, not the movie.
Do you understand me, people?
If they're readily available, you can have someone make them for you.
Lucasfilm, the producers of Star Wars, made a film with duck tits. Okay, let's save that for when we do eventually talk about Howard the Duck on this show. Because that has
should be
to
soon.
happen. Yeah.
Who is that? Who was it that suggested that the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie is going to have Howard the Duck in it because of a main member?
I've said many times that I think
that was one of us. I think that was me.
Yeah, like, if it doesn't happen in this movie, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a main character in the third one. Would not be surprised at all. Him and Rocket in their own solo movie, even, I wouldn't be surprised by that either.
I want to see him and Cosmo, though, have a fight scene.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm writing this fan fiction.
Okay, we're on a Marvel tangent.
For some reason, I think you already have.
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah, let's go to the Flash. My notes are
We
really
got the biggest disappointment of everything.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, it was the most, like, who could Alchemy possibly be? Oh, it's the British dude.
Yeah,
it's Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, it really was like the easy choice.
And I'm not saying it's bad because I know the big bad now is technically Savitar.
Yeah,
but they took the easy route, and I mean the season isn't worse for it. I don't think there's still been good episodes I liked.
Yeah,
I don't know. As a whole, I'm not disappointed, but it's they couldn't do anything better, I guess.
Yeah.
Than what they had.
I guess it makes sense because part of me did like the version of the world where he became a regular on the show and he became the new Eddie or something. But I guess that was never actually going to happen.
No.
He probably wants to go back to doing movies, which he can still do. So, yeah. I guess. But the reveal, I didn't think it was that well done, because I was like, okay, I guess he's actually Alchemy. This is not exciting at all. This is not... it doesn't have nearly the amount of excitement that I felt when they revealed who Zoom was. because I really didn't see it coming at all. I would just...
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And that moment where he says, well, this complicates things, like, that just worked. It worked better than, I will say, it worked better than in the moment watching the Man in Yellow thing. Because I was suspicious of Harrison Wells in the first episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah, his name is Harrison Wells.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, he's probably a bad guy. He's probably not good at all. He's probably going to be the Reverse Flash. And, I was right. So yeah, this just did not work as a reveal. It just felt like, okay, this is where we were going, I guess.
I mean, it's hard, though, like, to compare it to, like, Zoom, which is possibly one of the greatest reveals
right.
that the CW's had for villains.
Top Jay Garrick taking off that mask. Like,
yeah.
Because I know I didn't see that coming. Like,
yeah, I don't think anyone really...
And
if anyone called it, they sure cheated.
Yeah.
I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but in Kingdom Come by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, Freddie Freeman is basically drawn as Elvis and has the name King Marvel and is literally drawn as Elvis. That book beats everything now. Beats 52, beats Countdown, beats everything. Beats Dark Knight Returns, kicks it out of the fucking universe.
You interrupted our Zoom rant for that.
God bless you, Alan.
Raise his hand to your chest.
Alan, you were like, you are the man. Let me just tell you. Anyways.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about Zoom.
No, we were talking about how Alchemy's reveal wasn't good. Not very good at all. There were things about this episode that were good, I thought. I thought the Caitlyn stuff was actually really well done.
Am I the one that saw the meme? Savage, Caitlyn Snow, a.k.a. Savage?
Yeah.
When she was dropping stuff about Ronnie, Eddie...
Yeah.
Yeah, Killer Frost does not hold back.
Yeah, and I like that it wasn't just Earth 2
I think
Killer
she might
Frost.
be a YouTube commenter.
It felt like a separate entity.
Yeah, it felt related to that Killer Frost, but it wasn't the same character over again. It was a very new thing.
Yeah.
And I liked that quite a bit.
I think that this is like one of the better performances by Caitlyn in this season.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like I was bored by the Killer Frost stuff in this episode. Like,
no, it was really entertaining.
It was, her motivation is like believable too. It's like she wants to get rid of her power. She doesn't like what she's doing.
Yeah, and then there are times where she just goes full Killer Frost, and she's like destructive, and I struggle to say. I want to say sexy, but not. I want to say enticing more though, like more like almost seductive in her tone.
Yeah, she slows down her words and like talks like she's toying with you basically.
Right. And
this episode
interesting.
was what was I gonna say? It was very odd because after I listened to Fat Man on Batman with both episodes with Andrew Kreisberg. And you said that Danielle Panabaker is like nicer than the character Caitlyn Snow.
Right. Yeah, it's
She came from Disney after all. She was a cookie cutter of happiness.
Right, and she's from an acting family, so
Yeah, her sister was on No Ordinary Family.
Yeah, I remember. She's... Yeah. They're also...
God, I completely forgot about that show.
Yeah.
And she was also in Sky High.
Yeah, I remember Sky High. It's on Netflix now. We need to watch it.
Yeah, we should totally do that for the show at some point.
But
Like,
seriously, you want to watch that, but we can't watch Turbo Kid?
What's Turbo Kid?
Sky
It's a
High
bad
is like
movie.
a good
That is a good movie.
Give me the synopsis. The synopsis.
It's basically Mad Max meets like the post-apocalyptic future of Mad Max.
Yeah, but... Okay, so...
With Mega Man, kinda, right?
Yeah, but also with a lot of gore.
I guess...
Yeah, it's very gory, to a fault.
Also, I'm looking at a photo that Chris just put in the chat, and I'm noticing there are a lot of people in here that they could bring onto the show.
I mean, here's the thing. Half of them are already in this universe. So, yeah. Like...
I'm talking about Fire, Ice...
I know, but
who's
there's...
the white super whatever robot dude?
I don't know. I don't think he's real.
Because that's the only thing that matters.
that's
and that's the
Stripesy.
one thing that I want Dean Cain to be, damn it.
I think
That's
I
right.
don't-
you drew that. Oh, that's Stripesy. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. You're right.
I mean, like I said,
I just remember Stripesy was his name.
half of
Star
these...
Spangled Kid's sidekick.
Half of these
And
people
she's-
are in universe already. They really
And
are.
she's Stargirl's stepfather.
And for those of you looking at it at home, it's basically the B team from Justice League Unlimited,
Right. From
which was like
Alien-
Vigilante, Star Spangled Girl, etc., etc.
Right.
Atom
It's,
Smasher, Dr. Light, Aztec, Hawk,
it's from
Fire,
the,
Ice, Wildcat,
yeah.
Our Man,
Yeah.
Vibe, Elongated Man, Dr. Fate,
Vixen's in there. Some Huntress. Some,
Dr. Midnight, Ray
yeah.
Palmer.
Yeah, most of these people have been on... They are in universe already.
Yeah, they're all basically in the universe. So why
Supergirl,
can't this,
Red Tornado,
guy that
Obsidian.
should be-
Yeah,
And,
like,
who is that right there? Green
Steve
Lantern, John Stewart.
yeah. I
Then
feel
again,
like they're going to do
they're
it.
not allowed to use anyone from the
Yeah,
from the movie.
Catman is in here.
But the Flash
He's not,
exists.
he's not Catman.
I don't care.
Wildcat.
I
Wildcat.
I do not give a
She's
shit.
Wild Dog.
Harlan, get it right. We're gonna have tons of angry comments on this episode because you said Catman.
Come at me,
We don't
bro.
have com.
Come at me. We have not Doctor Strange. Yeah, all kinds of people in here. At least half of them are already in universe. So I'm satisfied. For those who are really wondering, this is from the episode with the alien invaders, the robot invaders who.
The episode that Warren Ellis wrote.
Right, the little robots that duplicate themselves. And there's a clip that people will share where Batman is like, "I'm falling. I can't fly, and I don't have any powers. Someone help me!" And then Superman saves him. It's pretty good.
But there are two characters in this photo that will never be used because they simply can't use them.
Right.
Golden Age are the original Vigilante and the original Shining Knight.
You say
Why
that,
can't
but I
they-
guarantee they show up next week together. Because that's how you
Why
do
can't
it.
the original Vigilante be in
He
CW
was around during the time Jonah Hex was around.
Yeah, he might show up.
They can still use him.
Yeah. And they could put the night guy, I guarantee, Legends of Tomorrow is going to go back to medieval times. And we're going to see medieval heroes. Which is...
And the thing is, though, Vigilante was voiced by Nathan Fillion, and you can only go down from that.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. But you don't know that. I'm more interested, now that I said it, I want to see that medieval time stuff. Like, because if it's medieval times, you know who you can bring
God,
in.
they
God,
can both put in Etrigan if they do.
Oh, God,
God,
yes.
please.
Morgan Le Fay.
Morgan
I just
Le
want more
Fay,
Jonah Hex, to be
Etrigan.
honest.
Give me all of it. Give me all the medieval times.
Oh, I didn't get to talk about Jonah Hex, but that guy who plays Jonah Hex is just incredible at it. Like
Yeah.
that, he
He's-
nails it. Like
He's pretty good.
as someone who's unfortunately seen the film,
I have.
because I just
We're not talking about that. Like, it's gonna make me sad.
No.
I really like Jonah Hex. Like,
me too. I love
but like that movie, it just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, we are way off topic. Okay.
As I say, the best part of that movie is when President Grant offers Jonah Hex to be the sheriff of the country. He says, he speaks to the entire audience when he said, "That's stupid."
that's actually not bad.
And Josh Brolin was pretty good as Jonah Hex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's move
Yeah,
on before I have.
Okay, so yeah. Let's just go like top moments, least favorite moments. My favorite moment of this episode was when Caitlin says
Wait. Before we get into favorite moments real quick.
Wally.
Yeah, we got to see Kid Flash, and we
That's
didn't
true.
really cover exactly what alchemy is, I guess. Alchemy is kind of, sort of, I guess...
He's a mix of...
He's Mask from Jim Carrey, essentially, where he puts on the mask, but he doesn't quite remember what's happening.
Right.
And his powers are a mix of science and magic.
Right.
Yeah.
We got that. Yeah, it's interesting. The magic probably from Savitar, I'm gonna guess. That's how he's...
Yeah. Unless it's the mask, specifically.
I don't think it's the mask. I think it's more the Philosopher's Stone. That's where most of his power comes from. Whenever we...
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Whenever we've seen
Harry
him...
Potter jokes.
No, it's called the Philosopher's Stone in the episode. At some point. Somebody calls
It's
it
called
the
the
Philosopher's...
Sorcerer's Stone in Harry Potter.
In England, it's called the Philosopher's
Well,
Stone.
actually, it's actually called the Philosopher's Stone in the Great Britain release.
Everywhere but
Whatever.
here.
I don't care. We're talking about the Flash right
We
now.
called it the
I don't care about
Sorcerer's
Flash.
Stone because Americans are too dumb to know what a philosopher is. Yeah, Americans, I'm calling you dumb. Yeah.
But
You better take that back.
I'm
You
not.
saw the wall.
Here's Red Bang.
I'll go back. I'll go over the wall. Send me to the wall. I'll go.
But Black Dynamite, you live in America.
God damn it. Okay. I didn't really like the Wally thing. That was actually going to be my negatives. I didn't like the whole thing with Joe. I didn't like him suddenly being all angry that he doesn't get to use his gut. I guess. Like,
He's like he gets
Never
angry.
throw that
they're
with
so
my
smart.
man. All those
I'm
big
too
belly
dumb.
burgers aren't just for nothing.
I mean,
I'm too
Oh,
dumb.
can
I don't want to do this.
like,
Can I just say something that I just remembered from the Kevin Smith Q&A that he did on Facebook?
oh right, okay.
No, it involves the episode from it involves Runaway Dinosaur,
Oh yeah, it's
specifically Jason Mewes' character.
Hmm.
The
big,
guy coming in a big belly burger saying, "That's my mom's car." When Kevin Smith was talking to Jason Mewes and said, "I want to put you back in, try to get you back in." He was basically trying to create a continuity of his character, like to have him on Arrow and then Supergirl, then Legends.
Yeah.
But anyways, Joe.
Yeah,
was
okay,
like,
so, Joe, did not like Joe. Not a fan of him in this episode. I really didn't like how they handled the Wally thing, because it felt very impatient. Like, is it that important to have him in the suit by the end of the episode? Like, having that be an entire episode on its own. Like, coming back from Invasion, he's out of the pod, and just exploring him as a nude speedster. That's an interesting thing. We really didn't get a lot of time with Jesse doing that, actually. It's fairly small in that episode. Most of it is the Monster of the Week stuff, because Flash feels like it always needs to have a monster of the week. And I didn't see why we needed to rush that. It didn't make sense to me, I guess. But yeah, it just didn't work for me. I didn't like the Joe's gut thing. So I guess let's just go with our bads for this. So, Hunter, do you have like a thing that you really didn't like about this episode that stands out to you?
Joe just kind of like being a whiny, like all of a sudden be like, I'm too dumb, I don't like this. Like that, it was weird because he's like, it's so just change of character for him to suddenly be like, well, I'm not being used to my full potential. Because I feel like he definitely did not do that before. Like he just kind of like he was very supportive. Like now he's just like, well, if I don't get to use my detective skills, I don't want any part of this.
Yeah. Same. Chris, do you have a worst part of the episode for you?
Flash or Supergirl?
I mean, either one. If you do have something for Supergirl that just is now coming to you.
I mean, I wish that the actual Supergirl, the part where she, I guess, doesn't save the day, I guess, as it were. When Guardian and is on the loose, or whatever, when he's wanted,
right.
Where they oh, don't tell Kara because it's really Jimmy Olsen,
right?
With this fancy ass suit that is somehow made out of these, I guess, laser proof materials that the DEO has no idea how they got.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like Guardian.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I wish I could like Guardian, but it's just
I completely agree with you. I do not I don't understand why it's there. It feels like filler.
Quick thing we forgot. Kara name dropped or sort of teased Batman.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of people say that. I didn't get it. Where was it? I'm just forgetting completely.
The guy who used a lot of tech and had inner demons. Or the guy, or when she was talking about Clark's old partner, or Kal-El's old partner.
I mean, so what we learned in this episode is that Lex and Superman did have the relationship from Smallville, and they might as well have made Smallville canon based off what they described. It would make the fact that they're copying it make even more sense. I just assumed that was Lex before he turned bad. I don't know. I always my version of Lex in my head, canon-wise, even when I'm reading the books, is at one point they were high school friends. Just every version of Superman and Lex. That is always the subtext to their relationship for me. Even if that's not stated explicitly. So, but yeah, I didn't read that as Batman, I guess. But they do a lot of Batman references, and they always, to me, don't seem to be Batman. I don't know. Alan, do you have a worst thing in this episode? Something
Yeah, mine is. Well, actually, I have a happy thing and a bad thing.
Well, we're already most of the way through the bad thing, so just do the bad thing for now.
I'll do the bad thing first, and then end it on a higher note.
Okay.
When it's really my angry whole bad part was something that never actually happened. It's something I thought was going to happen.
Okay.
It's when Savitar speaks to Julian
Mm.
in
At the end.
Right.
at the end of the episode. I thought that was it was Tobin Bell, and I thought it was Alchemy, and I thought he was going to get powers too, and I was going to freak the fuck out because it'd be like it was going to be like Oprah, or Alchemy was going to be the equivalent of Oprah. You get a superpower. You get a superpower. You get a superpower.
Mhm.
That's not how it goes.
Hey, you guys, one quick thing I just realized. I might be wrong here, but like the alchemy like voice, like where they're like calling people toward like seek out alchemy or whatever, is like the exact same as Savitar.
Yeah.
So like, is it Savitar that's basically like telling the people to go and meet this guy who is essentially the same exact voice actor, which means that it's probably under the spell of Savitar that's controlling alchemy.
Yeah. Like it's probably him that's been writing alchemy on the mirrors and stuff, or whatever.
Can I say my high note?
Yeah. What's your high note?
My high note. My biggest fear with this episode was they were gonna do something irreversible to Caitlin. And if Connor was here, he'd probably agree. That was his thing he said about, I think, a week or two ago. I was so happy that that Barry talked her down, or that scene where she has the ice dagger.
Right. Yeah, I like that a lot too.
Oh, I never did my high point.
Well,
I suggested the high point on a whim. You can have yours.
Yeah.
My high point was watching Arrow again and then seeing the Vigilante again.
Oh my god.
Well, what's your high point specifically of Flash?
Oh, a Flash?
Yeah.
I think definitely, like, Caitlin just, like, laying into Barry and telling him he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he is. Like,
that was needed.
He's fucked up everything by fucking around with the timeline. Like,
Yeah.
he's ruined so many lives, and he needs to be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was enjoyable. It was good to see someone talking down to him and just punishing him.
He's a little shit. I love him, but he's a little shit.
Yeah, he's a fucking entitled asshole. Yeah, I like that as well. Chris, you got any like favorite thing about either show, but specifically Flash?
I just have like one final thought, really, which is I'm looking forward to next week for Legends, the crossover, the massive crossover.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh, I forgot.
Because I think we've said all we can say about the past couple episodes.
Yeah.
Well, there's something that sort of teased how this episode is going to go in terms of Caitlin. Is JLA. That Steve Orlando is doing. Killer Frost is a member of the team.
Oh,
yeah, I know what you mean. Like, they're gonna find
She's
a way
reformed.
Good Killer Frost or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
Not so Killer Frost.
It was Killer Frost, but she's reformed.
Right.
I know, that's what I mean. Not so Killer Frost.
Yeah. Good Killer
I
Frost.
see what you did there.
Reserved Killer Frost.
Right. Yeah. Low setting on the refrigerator, Killer Frost.
Yeah.
Low setting frost. Defrost.
Yeah.
Defrost.
Defrost.
Okay.
We ready to wrap?
No, well, we're gonna do news, so you can, if you need to, peace out.
Can I do the outro real quick, and then you guys can just edit in the news?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
You realize this episode is going to come out late because you just asking that, Chris.
I know.
Yeah, I'd rather just have us do the outro. But it doesn't matter, I have to edit this out now, so...
But the thing is, Luke Cage 2 episode part 2 still hasn't gone up yet.
That's never gonna happen. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll never
Lost
happen.
in Cosmos.
God damn it.
It's in the actual Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, till next time. Let me see some more Dean Cain.
All right.
Alright, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Fine.
Okay, so
I'm just kidding, kids.
what was
Have fun at your party.
Yeah, let's do the news. Does anybody have one of the news stories that just off the top of their head that they wanted to talk about? Because there were a couple that we were looking at.
John Cena in Thor?
Okay, so was that confirmed, or is that just a rumor?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
I mean, here's the thing. I love that, mostly because everything John Cena has done recently outside of wrestling has been really impressive to me. So
Yeah, he's hilarious. Like,
yeah, like
I said he should be by Beast, but I doubt that's gonna happen.
yeah. I mean, if he has even a cameo in Thor, as good as his role in Trainwreck, he'll kill it. Yeah, that was interesting. That was an interesting piece of news. What was the other one? So the Legends of Tomorrow thing, that was a thing that was talked about. I think Alan posted it on the thread, and if you're wondering what this is, people at home, Legends of Tomorrow to bring back a certain character in an unexpected way. And what that made me think of after reading it was, and they suggest in the article that we're just going to see a younger Rick, which is a very Doctor Who thing to do. Ding, 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 ding. But I thought, are they going to do it? Are they just going to... Are they going to copy Doctor Who in the way to copy Doctor Who? Is Rick going to, like, regenerate or something? Like, is he going to, like, turn into another person? Maybe? I don't know. Future technology, whatever. We don't know what the Time Masters did.
I kind of read it as it's going to be an older version of Rip.
I would love that too. I don't know how that works because he's supposed to be dead. Because they do suggest
if he
that
gets,
he's dead.
I figure it's like he gets lost in time, and
Right.
and they're moving at such like through
Right.
time that he's aging. Like they could be gone for like thousands of years.
Maybe. I feel like if anything, he's just, I don't know. Maybe he is trapped in like a parallel dimension or something, or another timeline.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool, I guess. I do think that he's just going to come back as a different actor, though. I feel like
That may happen. I'd be okay with that. That'd be cool.
yeah, it'd be interesting.
I need my Arthur Darvill.
And the whole having him show up as a younger version and them knowing about his future, that's just them copying Doctor Who over again. Because that's how you do it. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting story because I was very convinced that we weren't going to see Rip again, that they'd just written him out of the show. Because they were like, you know what, it's better if we don't have like a leader whose only thing is shooting a gun and talking down to the team. And we can just find our own natural drama, I guess. So that was something that I thought was interesting. There were other...
So are you saying that Rapunzel is the Captain Pike of Legends?
Yeah.
How funny would it be if they just keep doing this and he gets progressively younger and younger until eventually he's a baby in like a trench coat?
Yeah, that would be... Hunter...
This show would be like show of the year for me.
That's just too adorable. Why did you have to say that out loud? God damn it. Oh. Okay. That's great. What were the other news? There was one news story this week that I guess we can talk about. They announced Black Panther's mom, which was interesting because they just keep on gathering this impressive cast of people.
Where are you reading this from?
I'm reading this from a article written by Alan Muir for a site. It may be familiar to you. I think it's called The Hero. I may be pronouncing that wrong. Or is it... Oh, no, that's The Haro. That's right. That's a site that I happen to be the editor-in-chief of and have to be in charge of, and it's my name. And Alan...
Listeners, go to that site. You will find plenty of comic news written by yours truly.
Right.
And you might find articles written by someone soon, maybe.
Perhaps. You never know.
Perhaps. You don't know.
Ooh.
Might have
Time will tell.
Angela Bassett was cast as Black Panther's mother. Again, giant cast, including most prominently Michael B. Jordan, among other names. But Angela Bassett... Angela Bassett's perfect. I mean, I don't have any problems with the casting.
Like I said, she was the first live-action Amanda Waller.
Right.
Really?
Like,
I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah, she's great casting. She has this presence on screen. I mean, for the first time I watched American Horror Story this season, and the show itself kind of lost me at some point, just because of a filler episode that was just too fillery for me. But she was the best part of this season that I watched, and she has this ability to just keep you looking at her, even when everything else is interesting or disturbing in some way, or just eye-grabbing. She keeps you on her at every moment. So she's going to be a very interesting character in this role. And, I mean, for years, people said that she should have played Storm back in the 90s. In the 2000s Bryan Singer X-Men movies. So it's interesting that now she's playing Black Panther's mother. Yeah.
And technically Marvel Studios is pulling a fast one on us because I think it's Ramonda, her name is.
Right.
She's actually his stepmom in the comics. After his mom passed away.
They might,
but she did raise him.
They might be saving that for a reveal. I think that's what that is, if anything. If I had to guess, because it feels like something like, oh, wait a second. She's not your mom? No, she's my stepmother, or whatever. It feels like one of those. I might be wrong, though. But, because they, like, Marvel... we talk about how CW does soapy stuff all the time. The Marvel movies do some soap opera bullshit on occasion.
Like Steve Rogers' love affair with Bucky Barnes?
Well, I mean... It's not a love affair, it's canon.
Why did you read my fanfic?
Because it was good. It was actually really well written. Really beautiful prose. Yeah. I don't know, was there any other news that really stuck out to anybody? Because this was a pretty light week on the news, actually.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah. So I guess we can talk about Invasion. We should.
Did you guys see the clip from next week's Supergirl?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I did not yet.
I want to talk about it because.
Or wait a second.
It is so.
I only saw the trailer. I didn't see the clip. Never mind. Yeah, but everything they've released so far has just been killer. Like, I'm convinced that they need to give the movies over to the TV. Like, I don't understand how they can make films that are just so inferior to television shows. Like, this movie looks better than everything that the DCEU has put out so far. And that's me. That's my personal opinion. I've grown up on DC TV shows, essentially. So my standards aren't exactly what they could be, I guess, but I don't want anything more than what is going to begin on Monday. So yeah.
Speaking of DCEU, I watched Suicide Squad Extended Cut for the first time today.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, why?
I never saw it in theaters. I had never got the chance.
So wait. Let me wrap my head around your logic here. You never saw this movie in theaters, knew it was kind of iffy, so you're like, you know what? I want the extended cut because I want a couple more minutes of shit. Is that what you did?
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
But
enough.
Connor was right. That's just all I have to say about Joker.
Yeah, he's totally right.
He's definitely right.
I liked him when I was in the theater, mostly because everybody was saying that he was terrible. I was like, all right, this isn't terrible. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but I don't know.
There's only one good scene with him in it, and he's not even the Joker. He's just Jared Leto.
Yeah. Like, what I think happened with that movie is that there was an hour of him as the Joker. Like, I think that there's a version of this movie where he is in it half of the time.
Oh, no.
And I think what happened is it got back to the studio. They learned their lesson from having a movie where Jesse Eisenberg sticks a Jolly Rancher in a grown man's mouth. And I don't care what you say, makes a woman pee. They said, no.
We should stop this before it happens again.
We should,
ding.
Right.
Ding.
Okay, that's not actually... Here's the thing. That's the line. Him doing that ding, ding, ding thing is fine. The Jolly Rancher scene is the rapiest thing I've ever seen on screen.
It is uncomfortable.
Like I've seen actual rape scenes. They are not as uncomfortable to me. Now, it might be that it's a dude. Granted, that's fair. It's totally fair. It is a dude having a Jolly Rancher stuck in his mouth. Still fucking uncomfortable. So
Want to hear terrible? Or me being... my knowledge and stuff being... like, verbally being raped? Is seeing a friend of mine on Facebook who I went to high school with saying that Jesse Eisenberg should play Joker. I wanted to... Oh my god, I wanted to write... I just wanted to just say...
Yeah,
I wanted to be a Trump guy.
About people who like Joker or who like Eisenberg?
We need to build a wall around Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, and just a literal wall.
And Marvel's gonna pay for it.
I'll pay for it. I'll pay for every cent. It's some of the stupid shit I've had to read. God.
I don't help, but anyways.
No, but yeah, like... Yeah. Leto in the extended clip that I saw on YouTube was terrible. And I keep on thinking to myself, if there was more of that, there's no... I understand why they had to edit the movie. And it makes me think, okay, there was never a good version of this. Like, there was never a version of this movie that was great. Like, I've said it before. There's an R-rated version of this movie that's just Fury with a clown and an alligator man. No, there's a version of this movie that's probably the David Ayer film Sabotage with a clown and an alligator man. And it has all the problems of Sabotage, which are not there in Fury. And it's... yeah, like... I don't understand the DCEU up until this point. I still don't understand the direction that they're going.
I checked the Wikipedia of the woman who's writing the solo or the Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
She wrote Shut-In, the movie that got a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know. When it comes to writing credits, I'm always willing to be forgiving. You don't know how many people were writing that movie before, and you don't ever really know how much of a hand somebody had in it. Like, for all you know, that woman who's writing the Harley Quinn movie, before she wrote on Shut-In, the movie was like 100 times worse. For all you know. For all you know, the initial script that she had to rework was just the worst piece of garbage that's ever been written on the planet Earth, and she saved it, or made it a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, you know. So I'm always willing to be forgiving to a writer, especially the last writer on a job, because it's very easy to ruin something or to make it better. I don't know. But she's written a lot of other stuff also.
Yeah.
That Harley Quinn thing, though, that I'm not really interested in the Harley Quinn movie. Like, because I was not as impressed with her as I was impressed with her in the trailers or at any other point in time.
Would you rather Tara Strong take a stab at the role?
I would. Part of me thinks that Harley Quinn shouldn't have been put into live action. Like, I mean,
she's one of the 4 pillars of DC now.
I mean, I know.
I'm not gonna sit here and say Harley Quinn isn't a good character. She is. It's just I don't think she works in live action as well as people think she would. Because she's a cartoon character.
Well, this is the first time she's actually, appeared in live action.
Oh, and I know. I'm just saying, I don't feel like you can really adapt her without her feeling like, oh, she's too over the top.
Yeah.
There's never going to be a version that's, Oscar worthy, is what I'm saying.
I mean, here's the thing. I've always seen her as she is DC's Deadpool. More than Lobo, more than any other character. She is their equivalent to Deadpool. In every way. I can see it. The fact that her first comic book, when she first got her solo series, I think it was 2012, 2013-ish. I don't actually remember. It opens with her breaking the fourth wall. And, every page is a different artist. And it's basically her, noticing what the art looks like and saying, do I like this art or do I like this art? How do I want to look for the next year and a half or whatever? And it was very Deadpool-ish. I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is definitely something that Deadpool would do if they were starting a new book. So she's always held that place for me in my head, and I can't help but think Deadpool hurt my opinion of her as Harley Quinn, because I had just had such a high standard set by the Deadpool movie. I don't know. I was comparing that movie a lot to Deadpool before it even came out. So
there's 2 people that said that I'd take the test. One is Paul Dini, creator of Harley Quinn, or him and Bruce Timm created Harley Quinn. He said that Margot Robbie nailed it.
I mean, yeah. I don't think she... I don't think she did a bad job. But I wasn't impressed. I was like, okay, I guess that was Harley Quinn, and I don't see anybody beating that. I don't know how you do a better Harley Quinn, but I wasn't. For me,
you do a better Harley Quinn with a better script.
I think that is a big part of it. You do need a better script. You need a script that wasn't written in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We're just trashing on Suicide Squad now.
Well, the second person is Mark Hamill, because he said he enjoyed, or that Jared Leto also got it right as the Joker.
Yeah, but he also has a very open opinion on the Joker. He sees every interpretation as valid for what it is. What he liked about the Heath Ledger version is that he was like an addict. That for him, doing what he does is an addiction, and everything that he does is to get to that next hit, that next shot of adrenaline or whatever enjoyment he gets out of causing this chaos.
Well, he's a mix. Well, not Jared Leto. Heath Ledger's Joker was a mix of thrill seeker and anarchist.
Right. Yeah. And
Jared Leto's Joker looked was basically a meth addict.
Yeah.
He was a gang leader. That's he was just his whole goal was money. It just seemed like it was he didn't have that kind of chaos.
I mean, the scene she was in the movie with Tattooed Man.
With Common.
Tattooed Man.
Yeah, his name's Common. But anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't.
That was the only part where they're like, "Oh, this guy's crazy. Look out!"
Yeah.
It was it's not the Joker.
Yeah, he's not.
And he's probably gonna get recast. I'm not.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
It's okay.
I think we said this last week. I'm fine with the Jason Todd theory at this point.
David Ayer, though, he has a problem with that, saying that that's not...
Well, that's not what he thought of when he wrote it, but doesn't mean that Ben Affleck can't change it, because I don't think he liked the way that the Joker turned out.
No, Ben Affleck won't put up with that.
No, I think after seeing that movie, he's either going to write the Joker very differently, and Jared Leto is going to have to conform to his version of the Joker. Otherwise he's fired and they recast him anyways. Or he's going to kill the character off and say, no, this is the real Joker. That was just some fake Joker. That's... Okay, I feel like we've had enough time shitting on Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Hunter, do you want to do the plugs and stuff?
You can follow our Facebook group by searching it on Facebook, The Phantom Zone. We have a really nice community in there. I'm really proud of what we've made. You can follow me on Twitter at Davenport. You guys want to plug anything?
Hunter, how long has the group been around?
Since April.
Since April, yeah.
Yeah. We started, I think, a week after BVS came out. Or maybe a week before.
In my time as a moderator of the group, I've only had to delete 2 comments, and one of them was by accident.
Yeah, this is probably the most. There's just a bunch of cool people in there. People I know, people we know.
Yeah, and we've had to lock 2 threads in that entire time. Both because the
person has left the group. The person responsible for that is gone. No longer with us.
Both people.
Not
people
dead,
left.
But on the lam.
And it's because it's because they felt persecuted or whatever, and I don't blame them.
It was emotions.
Yeah, there were emotions.
I'll admit that I made mistakes that day. So
Well, yeah, with the
we moved
Akira
past it.
one, yeah, that one was a little bit. Yeah. Certain.
But anyways,
certain mods who aren't here anymore also had parts to play in that. So, yeah.
yeah. But anyways, you guys have anything you want to plug? I know you can plug the site, like your new site, Arlen.
Yeah, the Haro entering year 2. You can follow that at Lost Haro because the Haro is already taken. So at Lost Haro on Twitter, follow me at AA Haro. Either way, you will get new articles and stuff from my site to read and updates about this podcast and my dumb thoughts that people love to like and shit. Yeah. Yay.
You can follow me on Twitter at the Alamir, where you can see me talk about my other podcast, which has so few followers that I'm barely holding on.
It's got Pop Slam syndrome.
Yeah.
Sorry, Connor.
He is shaking his fist in anger somewhere.